Hi, I'm Dana, and we've got a bit of a different video today, kind of in a way. It's still definitely about being autistic and the like, but I'm not entirely sure how interesting it'll be to people that don't create content and are like chronically online essentially, because the last few weeks I've gotten a few comments and messages from people that are very, very lovely. This is not like me talking shit about anyone. They've been absolutely delightful and really, really nice, saying about how like real I am and how I don't feel like other YouTubers and I feel very like a normal person, very real and so on and so forth. And I want to talk about it a little bit because first of all, I am very much just a normal, ordinary person who happens to film videos on my iPhone and post it online. Like, I feel like we do sort of have this perception of a society at the minute that influencers are like a specific breed, and I really don't like to consider myself an influencer because I don't feel like I'm influencing anybody. But you know, content creators and influencers are basically considered the same thing by most people. And I've definitely been guilty of it when I've seen other content creators talk about like not having money or not having the opportunity to do such and such, and I've been like, but you have this many followers. And it's very much just not the case. And alongside that, one of the big reasons that a lot of people have like listed is that I don't have any like passive income streams. I don't have any like books, merch, any of that kind of stuff. And I just don't know how to. That's the thing, is like, I know how it can feel to be watching a creator and have them suddenly be like, pay me money, give me money, I've created a t-shirt, I've made a book, give me your money and buy this thing, my content isn't free anymore, you have to be a part of the club and pay for it. Like, I get how that feels, but I'm also now seeing it on the other side of that, where I'm like, I'm spending hours and hours every week creating content and replying to comments and, you know, basically doing a job here, and I earn nothing. Like, basically, you know, every now and again someone donates to me on Ko-fi, I get a little bit on Patreon, I basically make nothing. So I very much understand why people would be like, crap, how do I get like some passive income stream from all these hours and hours and hours that I'm working on stuff? And if I knew how to, I would too, you know. Like, I mean, I say that, but I'm also like, I know that I've seen a lot of videos that tell you to like create an online course, and I suppose I could just, you know, shit out an online course, and I see it as like, well, I can't because it wouldn't be useful. Like, if I'm going to make something that people are paying for, it needs to be something useful. It needs to be something that people like, that's worth the money people are going to pay, you know? But also, even if I was gonna just shit one out, I don't actually really know how to do it, you know? And that goes for a lot of things. I'm aware that at this point I could probably get sponsorships, I could probably be getting like free items to promote and the like. I don't know how. I would really like to, it'd be really fucking nice. I don't know how to do it, you know? I've worked with Flare a handful of times, literally because I found an email address for them on their website and was like, hi, I'm autistic, I'd really like to use your products, but I can't afford them, basically. But I do make videos and I will talk about them in those videos and post them online and generally like be like, oh, look at this, if you'd like to work with me and send me some. And they did, and they've continued to message me to work with them. I assume because I say nice things about them because I find them really, really useful. But like, I've sent hundreds of those emails and it's only Flare that I've worked with, you know? I really don't understand how I'm supposed to get sponsors, how people do any of that stuff. And, you know, on the one hand, I'm glad that it makes me feel more relatable, more authentic, whatever else. But also, like, it isn't this like moral goodwill on my behalf, you know? I don't know how to. And that goes for when people are saying like they like that my editing isn't too flashy and it's not like overproduced and the stuff. I'd love to make my videos look nicer. I'd love to be more edited and better produced and whatever else, and, you know, speak more eloquently and have scripts and whatever. And it's like, I could write a script, but I don't understand how I'm supposed to like read the script to camera, you know? Like, I make notes because I can look at my notes and be like, oh, that's what I'm talking about. I have no concept of how I would in any way speak naturally or in a way that people would want to watch if I just had a full script of everything that I'm going to say, because I really think I would be like, hi, I'm Dana, and today we're going to be talking about this. You know, it would be awful. Every time I've tried to look into how to edit better, everywhere's like, you need to get Final Cut Pro, you need to get Adobe Office, you need to get this. And I'm like, I have a MacBook. I spent a lot of money on a MacBook. It took me a long time to pay it off. And I've got the stuff that comes on a MacBook, you know? I'm gonna use iMovie, I completely forgot what it was called. I'm not paying like 200 quid. I don't have 200 quid to pay for a better editing suite, you know? Like, I would like to do things better. I just either don't have like the opportunity and the resources, or I don't have the knowledge on and skill on how to do so. And I don't really want people to think that I'm authentic based on things that I don't know how to do but would if I could, you know? That being said, I do take some degree of pride in the vibe that my channel is authentic and a little bit vulnerable and just very like true and real to me, because that's what it's meant to be, you know? As much as I've started to gain followers and I have people commenting and watching and the like, I very much made this, I mean, I didn't make this channel, but I started making videos about autism because I was in a very, very rough place and I didn't know what the fuck to do. I couldn't find anybody that I felt like I related to, like I felt I saw myself in. You know, like the more I was watching people talk about being autistic online, the more I was like, is my diagnosis wrong? Because there's areas that I'll relate to, but on the whole, I don't really feel like I'm like these people, you know? Like I might like them, I might find them interesting, I might find them fascinating, I might be like, this guy's really cool, but I didn't see myself anywhere in them. And it just made me feel terrible. And I was like, is there nobody else on this planet who is like me? Is there nobody else on this planet that, you know, just is like me? And that was where I started making videos and being like, please somebody be like me, you know? Like if I can't find them, I'm gonna start posting stuff so that they can find me. And y'all did, you know? Like it blows my mind every single time I think about it that, like, you know, I've gone from getting like 1 or 2 comments on videos being like, oh no, I do that too, you know, and they made me feel so much better. And now I'm at a point where I'll get like, you know, 5, 10, 15 comments on things from people saying like, I do that thing too. I'm really glad you've talked about this. No, like, it's the thing of like, every time someone leaves a comment being like expressing that relief of having found someone, imagine that times 10, because that's what it is for me, you know? You're seeing one person, aka me, talking about the thing, but I'm having multiple people tell me that they do the same thing and they relate too. So whatever you're gaining from it, I'm gaining times 10, times 15, times however many people say it, you know? And it's been a couple of years as I've made more videos and, you know, escaped my abusive relationship and moved house and become more independent and generally, you know, tried to improve my life and live a life that's going to make me in some degree happy in some way, hopefully eventually. So although there isn't that same like desperate need to reach out, because like I have friends now, I have people I relate to in my real life, you know, my life has completely changed from when I started making these videos. The purpose behind them hasn't, and I am, you know, like glad and proud that authenticity has remained, because that is intentional, that is what I want it to be. I very much am still of like the oldie time YouTube. I know that we've got like Mr. Beast and stuff now and it's all about like trying to be the best content creator and get the most views and get the most likes, but I'm still very much like, YouTube for me is about creating a community and having people that you relate to and understand and having it be like a fun, safe space. That's what YouTube always was to me as like a teenager and a kid growing up watching like Dan and Phil and a lot of other dodgy YouTubers that we don't talk about anymore. And you know, as much as it was dodgy and there were a lot of issues, it was very much this like safe space where I found other people who were also like the outcasts and the freaks and the people that weren't liked by other people, but we liked each other and we understood each other. And that was what I always wanted for this channel. And I do very much consider like the comment section and my subscribers to be like a little community here. And you know, that is fully real, that is fully authentic, that is something that I really love and adore. And I feel a bit weird talking about it because it does feel a bit like I'm trying to position myself as some sort of cult leader, but I do very much see myself as like a part of the community, you know? I might be the person that's starting the discussions and saying the main thing, but I would have given up fucking ages ago if people weren't commenting and actually being a part of the discussion and being a part of the community alongside me, you know? All of that being said, and this bit makes me even more uncomfortable, I do think also that a good part of it comes from the fact that I'm autistic and a little bit naive and a little bit vulnerable, and I don't always know what's appropriate to post online. I've deleted several videos lately before even editing because after doing the video I've been like, I can't tell strangers that. Like, that is not an appropriate thing to tell people in general, never mind like hundreds of people that might watch it online. And there's been times where I've gotten comments on older videos where people have replied to like a specific part of the video and I'm like, I just told people that, huh? I just put that straight out there. And I do think that a lot of like the authenticity and the, I'm sorry, I'm playing with blue tack. Again, that should have been edited out. You know, I could make this more like polished and stuff, but we'll get back to that in a minute because we're on a different topic at the moment. You know, where other people might be like, that's not an appropriate thing to share with others, this is a tale to keep to myself. I feel like a lot of the time I really just don't know what's appropriate. I don't know what is TMI, I don't know what's too much, I don't know what should be kept private. So I am very real and authentic and vulnerable because I don't know how not to be. I don't know how to be like a professional person. I don't know what I'm meant to keep to myself, and I worry about it quite a lot, honestly. I do get very, very concerned that I will at some point share something that like will have some sort of negative consequence on me. And like, I don't know what, like, you know, I haven't got any like deep dark secrets. I'm talking about just like normal stuff that just everybody has going on that you wouldn't share with people, and especially most people wouldn't share online. And I just don't know what that stuff is. I don't know what I should share, I don't know what I shouldn't. There's stuff that I keep back that I'm like, I would like to talk about that and make videos about that, but I just don't know if it's an appropriate thing to share online. I don't know if it's something that I realistically would want to share with people. You know, like the stuff that at the time I was okay with saying in videos, and like I say, people will then reply to those specific parts. And I really wish that I hadn't said that in a video. I really wish that that was something that I'd kept private, something that me and my close friends knew about me or whatever, you know? But I didn't think like that at the time. I didn't know that at the time. And I do worry that maybe a lot of my old videos are too much. I worry about the videos that I posted like last week being too much because I very much don't know what is appropriate to share with people and what is not. Like the video I uploaded about my issues with the autistic community, I specifically, like, because I post everything on Patreon a little bit before it gets posted on YouTube, I specifically asked the people that follow me on Patreon, like, can you give me your opinion on this video? Let me know if it's like too much, let me know if it's okay. And 2 people did, and I really appreciated it, thank you. It made me so much less anxious about uploading the video to have a few people be like, no, you're good. And like give like a constructive criticism of it, you know? Like it wasn't just, no, you're good to go. Like there were concerns and the like, but they were concerns that I could then actually be aware of and think about that I hadn't been thinking about or aware of before, you know? And, you know, as much as I did really appreciate that, I'm really glad I was able to like gain that comfort in posting. It's also like the people that follow me on Patreon are also just random people online, you know? Like I have this like, it's not even necessarily an added trust of them, sorry guys, but it's the fact that like Patreon's more locked and it's not so public, you know? If I post something there, it's not going to just spread and spread and spread if it's a really, like I keep wanting to say like a dodgy thing, but like I don't feel like I have anything like dodgy, you know? But like, it's embarrassing. I'm scared I'm going to share something about myself that's really, really embarrassing, and I'm going to end up being the person that's posted on all of those like autistic cringe things, you know? And I get that that's what the risk you run on posting on the internet. I'm aware that that's the risk I'm running every time, but that still scares me, you know? And it scares me that I feel like if it does happen, it's going to be when I'm suspecting at least. I'm not going to be like, oh, that's the one that's going to get me, you know? It's going to be something I post thinking it's all right and then it gets me. And going back to what I was talking about a moment ago with the blue tack, I also think that it's little, like very small things like that where I don't mask when I'm filming videos, like really. I feel like, honestly, over the last couple of months, like I'd say like probably since I moved in February, I think making videos might be when like I am the most unmasked in my life, you know? It's the only time I remember in like living history for me that I've been able to just talk about myself with no fear or concern and actually really like be my little autistic self, you know? And that means that like I do little things like stimming and fidgeting and various things that I feel like other people maybe mask out in videos or edit out and just like wouldn't generally include because it's not a nice polished way to make videos that people are necessarily going to enjoy. But I have done a lot of work on unmasking like in general, and especially when I'm on my own. So making videos on my own, I'm very, very unmasked, and I don't always notice when I'm like fidgeting or doing things that people maybe wouldn't in other videos. My ex at one point, I still think this was really fucking quite rude and bitchy of her, but she said at one point, you can tell that you're really real in videos because in the last one you burped at the end and other people would have edited that out. And it's like, it wasn't like a burp, I don't burp properly, it was me being like it just would have been like a weird amount of effort to edit out and still have the video be joined together when it was literally like the last 10 seconds, you know? But I was like, I hadn't even considered that things like that are things that other people would edit out. As much as I'm saying this is another topic, I think it ties into the last thing, in that I'm scared that I'm going to do something like really autistic and not edit it out because it's just a normal thing for me, and everyone else is going to be like, super autist, why are you faking, or some bullshit, you know? Just the internet's a scary fucking place, and I'm quite scared of it. And the fact that it's currently like, y'all are being very kind to me, I don't really get very many negative comments, and when I do, they tend to like be discussion comments, you know, like the person might be disagreeing with me in a slightly rude way sometimes, but it's not really about me, you know, it's about the topic, and I'm okay with that. So I'm scared of that leaving, I think. I'm scared that I'm gonna get more followers and that won't be the same anymore, and it won't feel like this safe little space community. And yeah, you know, I think it's the thing of like, for me, the internet has always been a void, frankly, you know, for like, from when I was 12 until like a year and a half ago, anything I posted online, be it Twitter, be it tweets, be it Instagram posts, be it YouTube videos, I posted all those things and it was to the void. No one replied, no one saw it, no one liked it, you know, like it was always just for me, really. And the few times that people did pay attention to stuff was like in high school, when my people at school found my videos and then left a lot of horrible comments, and all of my videos got like dozens and dozens of thumbs down, even though they had like one thumbs up, you know? The internet's not often been a very nice place, and we see, like, just as general internet users every day, other people getting absolutely torn to shreds and shit all over and just horrible things happening to people. And I was kind of ready for that, you know, I'd kind of prepared myself for that when I started posting. And then everyone was really nice, and I've created this community that feels really safe and like feels really pleasant with these like you know, like I recognise a lot of y'all's names and profile pictures and stuff because you keep coming back, and it does feel like a community where there's like people I know and recognise. And I'm really scared of that going away. I'm really scared of more people coming in that aren't as nice. I'm really scared of not being able to like see all the comments. Like, I know that I don't reply to very many, and I am trying to get better at it. I have been replying to comments lately, but I have always read every single comment, you know, like start to finish. And I really don't like the idea of not being able to do that anymore. And I feel like that kind of thing does tie partly into like autistic moralistic viewings, I guess. I'm going off the term moral sense of justice, or like autistic sense of justice and that kind of thing. I'm gonna make another video about that. But like, I definitely am someone who has very strong opinions for myself and for like what is right and wrong, and as such, a lot of things that people do online I do very much see as being right or wrong. And things like monetizing platforms so that like only certain people can like be a part of it and things like that, you know, as much as I've said at the start, I understand that they're necessary for content creators and all, I wouldn't feel good doing that. I'm a poor person, you know, as much as I hope I'm not forever, I wouldn't be able to currently afford to do anything like that. I've signed up for one little like artist on TikTok that I like that's doing a postcard subscription for £5 a month including postage. That's the most I can afford. I absolutely could not afford to just like join someone's YouTube channel, join someone's Patreon to get extra content, and as such I really wouldn't feel okay doing that, you know. And even if at some point I can afford to do things like that, I will always have the memory of when I couldn't. So I feel like, as much as I you know, blame a lot of it on like I just don't know how to. See, I don't want to do the thing of like having a massive ego and being like, I'm such a good person, guys. But I do, you know, want to maintain my morals online and do the things that I think are right and keep things the way that I think they should be. And I guess realistically, I'm glad that people are seeing that and that does come across. But it also feels like such like a pick-me attitude to have and to say, and yeah. So I'm going to end it there. As always, I'd love to hear your comments, but I am a bit scared that saying that's going to inspire you all to comment and be like, no, you are so real, you're so good, you're so great. So I would appreciate if comments could be sort of about like the general discussion topic and not directly at me, because it makes me, I don't want to say it makes me uncomfortable, because I'll give that every time I get like a nice comment that's like full of compliments, it puts me on air for the day. I'm like, oh my god, someone really likes me, and like I make content and people watch it, and I'm like doing the thing I always wanted to do, and it's actually kind of fucking sick. But I also don't want to make a video that feels like it's just prompting people to compliment me, you know. So I would appreciate that it's kept to like the discussion of it all. But as always, you can comment whatever the fuck you want, and if you're mean or rude or weird, I'll just delete it. So it's also stuff like this. Like, I can't control when she's just gonna come and start meowing at me. I'm not gonna edit it out, because look at her, she's adorable. You're adorable, you're my baby. Also, the fact that I can just like lift and lower and she's chill with it. What a gal. But yeah, if you want to see more of my super real, really authentic content, you can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter and TikTok, and they'll all be linked down below. In the spirit of having talked about how I don't know how to make money online, if you'd like to become a YouTube member or Patreon member or donate to me over on Ko-fi, they are all options that you have that will also be linked down below. But as always, there's no fucking pressure. I've just explained how I'm like a poor fuck that can't afford shit, so I'm not gonna get mad if you're in a similar position. She isn't. She's recently gone back onto the gourmet gold fucking like tomato meat pate shit that she loves. She's living a life of fucking luxury. Just as she should. So whoever you are and wherever you are, if you have a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, week, month, year, and I will see you again in a couple of days.